Hey, y'all. Welcome to Eagle Talk Tuesday. I'm here with my beautiful bride. Eagle Talk is over. Eagle Talk Live is over. So now we're going to do a quick recap.
Yes. Hey, everybody. So, first of all, see, Lou is in the building looking all good in his yellow.
It's a little chilly willy back here tonight.
Look, we're trying to be all special, give y'all a little background, but it is nippy.
Get our toes out.
Don't believe the hype. Texas can get a little chilly.
Absolutely.
But we are on I think it's legitimate to say we're on a high.
Yeah, we are.
We are on a high. We are about 48-ish hours removed from Eagle Talk Live, our second live mastermind event.
Successful.
And I'm so grateful for it.
Absolutely.
But before we hop into it, this is what we need you to do. Go ahead and subscribe to the podcast and, drum roll please, the YouTube channel.
That's right, y'all. We going on YouTube starting next.
Now.
I guess now. I say next week, but we just agreed on now, so let's do it.
Yes, now. So I know you all have been used to reaching us on Eagle Talk Live on our private Facebook page and also on Instagram at Rosemary the Realtor. But, as you grow, you figure out how do we best serve those that are consuming our podcast, those that are watching. And one resounding thing that we've heard is that you all love it when we have guests on. And the best way we can do that is by recording ahead of time and then putting it out on Tuesday consistently. So you can start expecting to get that every Tuesday.
Yeah.
On Instagram, not Instagram.
We're done with Instagram. No more freezing.
No more freezing. Because we'll be in the middle of talk like,
then they say reconnecting. We'll be like,
and then we'll keep talking.
We're going again.
So go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Share it with your friends. You can watch us or put us in your car. I personally love to listen to podcasts when I'm driving along commutes. On the
treadmill for me.
Listen. Why you listening to all them cussing, killing
Ratchets
rap music?
Yeah.
When you can get some of this Eagle talk. Why you getting
your
workout on?
Talking like Eagles over here.
Okay, but Eagle talk. Okay, right. So first of all, baby,
yes.
Let them know Eagle Talk Live. This was our second time doing a live event, but let's just describe it because there's very possibly someone who has just joined us today and they don't even know what we're talking about.
Oh man, we did a live mastermind the 18th. No, so we did the headshots first on the 18th, which was a Friday night, which was amazing. Willie did his thing.
Willie and Kim photography in Dallas.
I think it was about 80 something people that got headshots that we
complimentary headshots.
We took care of the bill. Saturday was a mastermind from 8:30 to 5 p.m. That was amazing. We had speakers. We spoke. We had a guest appearance by Marvin Sapp. Tiffany Mims spoke. Johnny Collins spoke. My homeboy Alan Hope Johnson killed it at the end. It was just an amazing day. Alvin.
I thought you said Alan.
No, Alvin.
Okay, Alvin. Okay.
It was an amazing day for growth. It was spiritual.
And
I'm happy that all the hard work we put in turned out great.
Yeah, so we just really want to recap because one thing about when you pour, so let me give y'all a little background with what this looks like. So Corey and I have been boyfriend and girlfriend since 1995. We became husband and wife in 2006. Notice that I said we still boyfriend and girlfriend though. Don't miss that part.
Date your mate.
Date your mate. And during the pandemic, one thing that came up, like we have just been blessed to create a rhythm of date night in our relationship, and that rhythm of date night just allows for connection. And we can talk a long time about that. Like we date even we don't want to, because if you want to be successful at anything, consistency is key.
Absolutely.
So for us, we want to be successful at marriage, so we are consistently working on connecting even when it's not comfortable. So if I roll my eyes or he do something that I don't love, that does not cancel date night. So nonetheless, from date night, we decided like we're gonna go live on Instagram and just talk. And that turned into Eagle Talk, which turned into a podcast, which turned into a private Facebook group, which turned into events. And we are just so blessed because God is just showing himself crazy faithful in that. And it's just an example of how a hobby can can turn into a passion. And this weekend, we got to just love on people well. And honestly, I know that we've never really, and we probably need to define this between us, but I think that if I have to describe Eagle Talk for me, it would be God loves me so well. He's allowed us to love each other well, that we have overflow, and we want to love his people well and connect. And that event was an expression of that for me.
Yeah, I don't know that I have a definition, but when I think about Eagle Talk or Eagle Talk Live, I think of the word communication.
Yep.
I think of us giving, communicative efforts to get information to people, and I think that we did an amazing job of that.
Right. And let's just be honest though. We kind of sort of a little bit was trash in our real life, right? So what you see today, we have a history of not being able to communicate well with each other, let alone others. So it really...
But it's a learned behavior.
It's a learned behavior, and it's taking effort.
Yeah.
So as my husband stated, Eagle Talk Live is a live mastermind, and we realized we need to define what mastermind is. Corey, how would you define that?
It's just getting in a room full of like-minded individuals, being able to almost like a brain dump, right?
Yep.
Just getting thoughts out, getting ideas out, getting feedback. And this time we got smart. And the biggest winner of the day was the breakout session.
Yes. So we did an Eagle Talk Live session. So the first time we did Eagle Talk Live, it was in October of 2021. And we were just like, we just want to get people together. And honestly, it was a great event. Like, don't get me wrong, it was a wonderful event.
Yeah.
Like it was different, but it just was kind of like accidental, I guess I would say, like by happen chance.
Yeah.
But what was beautiful about Eagle Talk Live, the first one, is that we had an opportunity to sit with people that were in different stages in the room.
Yeah.
And when I say different stages, like we sat with a couple who actually flew from Chicago and really didn't have any buy-in to Corey and I, and they gave us their feedback.
Right.
We got to sit with our team who helped us put the event on, and they gave us their feedback. We got to sit with people that were friends of ours that were not directly related to Eagle Talk, and we got their feedback. And from their feedback, we figured out how to create the experience for this time coming up.
Right.
And one of the big pieces of feedback was that there needs to be more connection time with the people in the room. And I think that we had great speakers. Even Corey and I spoke. We had different people, and not that they were belittling us, but we realized, at least I realized that, especially after the pandemic, a lot of people haven't had opportunities to connect and be honest and vulnerable and chat with other folks.
Yeah, so I think too, what's the word? Process.
Yes.
People need, it's so much information you can get. So this was the difference between the first and the second. It was a lot of information in the first, but it was like from 9 to 1, boom, they were gone.
Like boom, 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 bye.
Yeah. So this time it was, an 8-hour event, but after each session, there was a breakout session for them to, write notes, brainstorm, communicate with other people, hear other people's stories, talk amongst each other. And I just think that was a different flow for the day.
Yep. And because Corey and I both have, I want to say we both have a high capacity for, we have to, even our technician, he's like, look, you need to celebrate the win, because automatically we're like, okay, what could we have done better? Right. But we've taken some time to just talk to, again, the community, those that were a part of Eagle Talk. And if you were a part of Eagle Talk, we're going to check your inbox, because there's an email survey that I have for you there. But I want to talk through some highlights that people have shared with us, and also some things we can improve on. Like, I want to be vulnerable and say, okay, yeah, we might want to improve on this. Yeah. So what are some highlights? What's something that you saw, Corey?
I just had a conversation with a young lady that literally said it changed her life. She said that, well, she is in business for herself, and her husband, I think he works for T-Mobile, I believe it is. But she said that he was, he's the high man amongst his friends.
Yeah.
Everybody's looking up to him. There's really nowhere for him to grow. And, she kind of encouraged him to have a conversation with me, which we did. And he wants to get into real estate and so on and so forth. So I think one thing is it allowed people to look at their surroundings, the people that are, in their life or who they talk to on a regular basis, and not dismiss those people, but maybe get some additional relationships for them to grow from.
Yeah, a highlight for me for sure. I mean, there are so many highlights, but a highlight for me for sure is that I'm having conversations with people who have not had access or have ever experienced an event like this.
And many people haven't, by the way.
Many people had not experienced an event like this. So, just a little bit. It cost $100 for people to come. It costs a lot more than $100 for people to come.
Right.
So, like, we had to make an investment, but to hear that, this is something I never did before, but I walked away like this person said that, or the fact that, one powerful point for me was we had a panel of men that just really shared about how changing their thinking changes the trajectory of their family's legacy. And to have some young fathers, like the guy who does my meal prep, and we're going to have him on the podcast, by the way, Jeremy Collier. First of all, his food is good.
It's amazing. It's good.
So Jeremy's a young father, just really growing his business. And he like, normally he meets my son for meal prep, but this week he was like, I have to come to your house and drop it off and let you know, like, I've never done anything like that. And to see those men on that stage just talk about their journey, because a lot of times we see people's end and nobody talks about the challenges in relationship, right? Nobody talks about, I'm trying to build my business, but my wife on me a little league, or the money is funny, or whatever. Like, there was one young man who came up to me and he did not say a word, but he just wept and he hugged me. And I was like, God, to know that God would use us to create the environment for him to experience that breakthrough and see his life and see God in a different way, it was worth every sacrifice.
I'm gonna tell you something. I'm glad you mentioned the panel. Something that opened my eyes is me and my son, well, and you helped too, came up with the questions for the panel, and everybody up there was a friend of mine. So I of course I knew the question, but I kind of felt I knew the answer.
Yeah, you knew how they would answer.
I knew how they would answer,
right.
And I knew how I would answer, but kind of listening to people tell me how good the panels were or was, whether it was a book recommendation or talking about their legacy or whatever the questions were, the answers that they gave, I kind of didn't, I guess, know that those answers were new to other people.
Right.
You kind of think that, oh, yeah, you didn't know that,
So I just did a podcast. It's going to come out probably next week with one of my girlfriends, and we talked about how, like, sometimes our blessings can become common to us.
Yeah, exactly. Right? Common is the word. Yeah.
Common. And like, I think Joel Osteen said this a long time ago. It was a quote that I'll never forget. Like, my ordinary is truly extraordinary because of an extraordinary God.
Yep.
But but it's your ordinary. You think that life is just supposed to be that way. And what I love is with Eagle Talk Live is that there were just so many different breakthroughs on personal levels. Mm-hmm. And it goes back to a quote that I have in my room, in my creative room in our house: create the things that you wish existed. And I was sharing with our technician, Glennis, that oftentimes I think about just things that I enjoy in my life, right? Mm-hmm. Whether it be, my Peloton. I love the Peloton, y'all. I love
yoga.
Hey, shout out! First of all, Peloton, put me on. Like, let me be a micro influencer or something. Like,
here's a tip too that I just found out, and this is not financial advice, but I heard Nike is about to buy Peloton, so y'all better buy some stock.
That's what I had heard. But anyway, keep it up.
It's not financial advice. You don't have Peloton stock,
but like Peloton, or I think about like a huge part of our life is our small group from our church. Yeah. But our small group from our church came because our pastor, Conway Edwards, and his wife Jada Edwards were obedient, mm-hmm. and they planted a church, and I know that at the time it wasn't like none of it was right, but they decided to just do what God called them to do. Right. And then to be in a position where people are coming to you and showing you how our obedience, because Corey's an introvert, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. We have done Eagle Talk sleepy, tired, whatever. But to hear stories about how your obedience impacts others, I don't care about don't get me wrong, I would love to make some dollars from this podcast. Right. But The real success is when I hear that, my technician has booked jobs, my photographer has booked jobs. This person was connected to that person. This person heard something that's making them go out of their business. And it's like, but it comes from the fact that we decided to be obedient and even though we don't know what God will do, we're just like, okay, but our answer is yes. Like we did a podcast like 4 days after my mama died.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And knowing that somebody who may have been struggling with grief, not may have been, because y'all are in my inbox to say, I feel that same way and I've never heard it like that.
Right.
It's just like, Lord, that is just to walk in your will and to see that people are being set free by our obedience is what empowers me to do a scare. And that's what Eagle Talk Live, like the live event, was an opportunity to see that in real time, in real life for me.
I'm gonna give you your flowers. While you,
Me? Okay,
because in the meetings, me and Glennis, when y'all brought up the speed dating, I think me and Glennis was looking at each other like, I don't understand it. I don't know if it's gonna work. But speed dating was the hit of
speed
networking.
Speed
networking.
networking. So if you've heard of speed dating, you know how you go to a place and you date somebody real quick.
Right.
We did a networking version.
That was
I brought it to the team, and they were like,
yeah. Right, let's fill that slot with something else.
Listen, if you were at Eagle Talk Live and you did speed networking, just go ahead and drop your girl a heart, a comment, or something.
Right.
Because that too was one of my best. And in that speed networking, so many connections were made.
Yeah, they were 6 sessions.
I'm getting goosebumps.
6 sessions of 3 minutes apiece. And if they didn't have a business card, they was dropping numbers on their phone, or just exchanging information real quick.
In the booklet
in the book,
for
they
them to write.
wrote down the information. It was dope. I gotta admit, I didn't have a vision for that one, but it worked out very well.
Yeah. So yeah, it was a great event. And in full transparency, let me let you know what Eagle Talk Live did for Corey and I.
What?
And we really need to sit down and talk about it. We really have to say, because the theme was limitless, and really like dreaming and going after it and setting your goals and really not putting a cap on what, just going after everything God has for you. And we literally looked at each other in the bed this morning like, what do we want to do with Eagle Talk?
Yeah. Like she was like, was that the last one? I was like, why would that be the last one? You know why? Because now we got to raise the bar again. So I understood the question, but we're going to step up to the plate and we're going to do what we need to do.
But it's also challenging us. I just wanted to say that y'all aren't the only one who left there with a call to action. Because really that's what it is. Like, if anybody left Eagle Talk Live, I don't want you to just be like, oh my God, I'm so excited, and Monday you back to your whack life. Right? We want a call to action. And even for us, we're just kind of like, okay, Lord, we know that we are uniquely blessed. And we know that we want to give it away. So what do we like? And we know that opportunities are not like, it would be cool if, Oprah called me, but she might not. but I'm limitless. She might call Oprah. Look, 469-262-9508 if you see this.
Right.
But if
Oprah, or Ryan Panetta reach
or
out to me,
whomever
on the real estate side out of Las Vegas, I'm here for you, Ryan. We'd love to do your.
We would love
I'm just saying.
Like, we're available. Okay?
Right.
But if they don't, we really have to sit and say, okay, what are we willing to do? But also be prayerful and make sure that what we want lines up to what God's will is for us and how He wants to use us. So I'm just saying that to say, even we plan the event and we're walking away from the event like, okay, what is our call to action? Yeah. And there will be action, but we really have to reflect on what that action looks like.
And we want to make sure that, and granted, we definitely had some aha moments.
Yes.
But we want to be purposeful. In what
we ain't just
doing.
trying to get famous.
Yeah,
and,
I'm out on that.
Right, or paid. Like, thank the Lord that, He's provided for all of our needs. But we really want to just say, but we don't, it's a balance. If we don't want to cap our gift, but we want to make sure that we're walking in purpose.
Yeah.
And that's what I hope everybody, like, I hope that if you were a part of Eagle Talk Live, that there is a stirring inside of you, right? That you're uncomfortable, just like, even if you're a high level performer, that you are uncomfortable where you are, because you know that there is more. Because the biblical principle, now unto Him who is able to do exceedingly and abundantly more above all you can ask or think. So there's more, right? Whatever you can think, there's more. And we just hope that there's a stirring, because there's definitely a stirring for us.
Well, that's our quick recap, y'all. We are YouTubers. Check that out. So, yeah, y'all let us know how y'all like this episode. Let us know how y'all like Eagle Talk Live.
Drop a comment.
Yep. And we'll see you next time.
We will see you next time. So you can catch us live. No, not live anymore. You can catch us here.
Right. We're so used to saying live.
Wherever you're hearing or looking at us, every Tuesday, Eagle Talk Tuesday. And we're just, we're so grateful for the opportunity just to share. We also welcome your feedback. Put in comments. What do you want us to talk about? What are some areas that you would like us to cover? And Eagle Talk Live 2023.
Liddy.
It's going to be litty. Make sure that you are there, and we will give you more information to come, but we'll have tons of fun stuff coming up between now and then. And I'm so grateful. And I just want to say this too. Corey, I'm grateful for you.
Grateful for you.
Because again, I'm the extrovert. So this is a labor of love. Like, my husband is loving me well in this way. He has agreed to share parts of us that we normally wouldn't share. And he did it for me, but your obedience is freeing so many men. And I'm just grateful that you're allowing not your ego, not your privateness, not any of that to block what God wants to do through you for other people. And it's blessing my life. So I know it's blessing other people's lives. So I just want to tell you thank you.
Thank you very much. And y'all, I'm about it. If you was at Eagle Talk Live, you know what that means. Signing off. See y'all next week. Peace.
Bye, y'all.